Hey there besties! Welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to continue the recap of the manhwa Never Let Go of My Ex-Husband. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you enjoy the video because it really helps our channel grow. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get started. Miss Shi Weiyi, you are truly enchanting. Would I have the honor of becoming your husband? He asked, kissing her hand tenderly. Shi Weiyi blushed unexpectedly. I didn't expect him to be so smooth with words, she thought, surprised by his charm. As she looked at him, her cheeks flushed with embarrassment. Please excuse me. I am gonna hit Shi Weiyi for being such a drama queen, a bystander remarked, bewildered by Shi Weiyi's antics causing those that love him to be heartbroken. Shi Weiyi is still contemplating and Mr. Lin has already knelt down, someone said. Mr. Lin, just marry me. I won't let you kneel like this, another lady exclaimed from the crowd, clearly taken aback. What do I get if I marry you? Shi Weiyi inquired. You'll have half of my property and my body, he replied frankly. I have a condition, Shi Weiyi stated firmly. After marrying you, I won't be a traditional housewife. I have my own career to pursue. Lin Du, still kneeling, affirmed. Well, okay, as long as it won't stand in the way of us having babies, he replied straightforwardly. Shi Weiyi continued, actually, there's another condition. Lin Du thought to himself amidst the discomfort in his knees, she just wants to ruin my knees, doesn't she? Shi Weiyi, with a serious expression, stated, let's get married tomorrow, as soon as possible. Lin Du, rising from his kneeling position, quipped. Oh! So my future wife is really worried about someone stealing me away. I just like it, Shi Weiyi replied calmly. It's bold and exciting. You're quite confident, aren't you? Aren't you worried I might mistreat you after we're married? Lin Du remarked, his hand resting on Shi Weiyi's waist. Sir, let's make a bet on it, she replied, embracing him passionately as their faces drew closer. You won't mistreat me, she affirmed. Lin Du raised an eyebrow, intrigued. Oh! And how can you be so sure, he inquired. You might have flirted with me impulsively, but I've been waiting for this moment for so long. You will know my other tricks after we start living together, Shi Weiyi whispered, still holding him close. Observing the couple, someone cheered, she's good. Well said. Other females blushed as they watched, feeling the warmth of their embrace. Another voice chimed in with excitement, now that's what I paid to see. They're so sweet I could just drink black coffee straight, a lady exclaimed cheerfully. Linda motioned towards Uncle Zhong. Uncle Zhong, select a suitable time. I'll marry Wei tomorrow, he announced to the family butler with resolve. The gathered guests cheered enthusiastically upon hearing the agreed-upon date for the wedding of the new lovebirds. Lin Zhua observed his father with Shi Weiyi from afar, feeling a bit annoyed. Daddy is such a foul player. I called dibs on mommy first, he thought to himself. Meanwhile, on a yacht, Go Ju, Shi Fengjai and Sha Bai were brought out of the sea onto the deck, completely drenched. Go Fei, Ju's sister, stood looking at them. Ju Fengjia, did you know that Lin Du has chosen Wei, and she's now the madam of the Lin family? The wedding is at 10 a.m. tomorrow and Lin Du is actually a hottie, Fei exclaimed, showing them the news displayed on her phone. Sha Bai's expression soured as she muttered, damn, that brat has some luck. Fengjia seethed with anger. She's going to ruin me in the future, she thought bitterly. Shi Weiyi is your best friend, isn't she? I've been betrayed by her in front of everyone. Tell me, did you betray us? Guo Ju demanded angrily, swatting the phone from his sister's hand to the ground. Guo Fei looked up, her expression innocent. Ju, you're my brother, of course I'm on your side. I'm not really Shi Weiyi's friend, she insisted. Wei, why did you steal Lin Du from me? You're too much, Guo Fei thought angrily. After the lengths she had gone. In order to get Lin Du, I went to Korea to get my face done and went to Spain for liposuction. Then I went to the United States for a boob job, but the moment I arrived at the party, I saw Lin Du proposing to you. Guo Fei lamented internally. Ju Fengjia, rest assured, she added aloud, trying to reassure her brother and Fengjia. I'll be Wei's bridesmaid at her wedding. Tomorrow, I'll turn her wedding into a funeral, Guofei declared angrily. Meanwhile, back at the Shi family villa, Shi Weiyi entered the house and handed her handbag to a maid. Miss, please come in. Aunt Yu welcomed Shi Weiyi into the house. Aunt Yu, where's Chen? She inquired about her brother. Aunt Yu, a kind-hearted woman who took care of both Chen and Weiyi, sighed as she clutched Weiyi's bag. Sir and Madam asked the young master to move out. I used to cook him lunch and take it to his school, but I'm not allowed to do that anymore, she explained sadly. Right. Hibichi and Shi Fengjia must have schemed to kick Chen out, Shi Weiyi said with disdain. The Shi family held a very traditional and outdated belief that only sons could be the leaders of the family. Hibichi and her daughters were afraid that Chen, as the only son of the family, would inherit most of the property. Both Hibichi and her daughter pretended to care about Chen in front of father and grandmother, but they mistreated him in daily life, even docking his allowance. Shi Weiyi feared that one day they might go as far as to harm him. Shi Weiyi reached into her bag held by Aunt Yu, and retrieved her lipstick and mirror. They say blood doesn't suit weddings, she remarked as she applied her lipstick before snapping shut her mirror. My little brother is being wronged and I can't just stand by and watch, she declared with determination. In the living room, the butler announced to elder Madam that Shi Weiyi had returned home. Rao Busi, Shi Weiyi's grandmother, was seated with a lit-up pipe, with Fengjia at her feet. Grandma, Weiyi is back. I'm scared, Fengjia said with an innocent demeanor. Rao Busi exhaled a puff of smoke. I warned your father about that troublemaker being the black sheep of the family. He shouldn't have let her back here in the first place. Now she's causing trouble, even bullying her own sister along with others. It's a slap in our face, Rao Busi said, her expression unhappy. Grandma, Weiyi only listened to you because she's afraid of you. She's got nothing but her looks. I'd make a better madam for the Lin family, Fengjia said, feigning innocence. Don't worry, dear, Rao Busi said, touching the necklace given to her by Shi Fengjia. You're always my favorite grandchild. I'll stand up for you, she assured, patting Fengjia's head as Fengjia declared her love for her grandma. Fengjia's resentment bubbled up. This corrupted old witch, go to hell. You always favored boys over girls and treated my mother so poorly after she gave birth to me, she thought. Ju bought this sapphire necklace for me, and now I have to give it to you just for your protection. Shocked and seething with disdain, Fengjia's thoughts darkened. Oh, what the hell? After I marry into the Lin family and get rid of Shi Weiyi, I will give you the most painful euthanasia, you condemned uncaring conservative old witch, she thought bitterly as she glared at her grandmother. Suddenly Shi Weiyi hurled her mirror with surprising strength, striking Fengjia's face with force. Fengjia cried out in pain as Shi Weiyi's words cut deep. Sure, Fengjia, it seems that your flesh also stinks. No wonder the sharks have lost their appetite. Shi Weiyi said, her hand on her waist, showing no remorse for her actions. You still don't shut your hole, she added coldly, unaffected by Fengjia's distress. Am I bleeding? Help! Help me with the wound, Fengjia cried, clutching her injury. Shi Fengjia hit her grandmother's hand, causing her pipe to fall. The hot pipe dropped, its burning coal landing on her grandmother's silk dress, eliciting a scream. This is my favorite silk dress, as she watched the hot coal burn through the fabric. Rao Busi noticed hot ashes on her face and cried out, oh no, my face. Her distress drew the attention of Shi Weiyi's father and Hibichi. What's all the noise for? What's going on? Shi Chuan asked, seeing his mother crying. Chuan, my son, look at what your daughter did to me. Rao Busi said tearfully as she rushed to meet her son. Other grandchildren respect and love their grandparents, but look at her. Just kill me. Rao Busi cried, revealing the scars on her face as she clung to her son. Weiyi, you dare to harm your grandma just because you're getting married? Shi Chuan asked his daughter angrily. We brought you up and you should be thankful. Without us you wouldn't grow up like that. Shi Chuan said to Shi Weiyi. Shi Weiyi smiled faintly. Humph, Dad, you're right. Being thankful is a merit, but having a good memory is also my merit. How could I forget what my grandma did to me, such as when I was still a baby? How she gave me away to a human trafficker. Shi Weiyi said, her face contorted with anger as she exposed Rao Busi's atrocity. Mother, did you really? Shi Chuan asked, his words trailing off as he looked at his mother, perplexed. Rao Busi stuttered, tension evident in her demeanor. How could this brat know, she wondered. Rao Busi collapsed in shock upon hearing Wei's revelation. Dad, Grandma fainted. Fenjia cried, holding on to her grandmother. Wei, how could you do this to Grandma? Fenjia, angered by the gift of the sapphire necklace, pinched her intentionally. Shut up, brat. How could Grandma give you to a human trafficker? You were stolen by others because the nurse who took care of you was negligent, Hibichi shouted, pointing angrily at Shi Weiyi. Shi Chuan, filled with anger, slapped her, silencing her instantly. The stupid woman is shouting our family scandal, Shi Chuan thought. Soon some staff nearby began to gossip upon hearing Hibichi's words. Giving her to a human trafficker was a serious crime, someone remarked. The elder madam doesn't like Miss Wei's mother, but she's her blood grandchild. How could she, one servant said to another. Human trafficking is the most despicable thing ever, a maid remarked. The elder madam will have bad karma, she added. If the police find out, she'll end up being arrested, whispered another. Stop gossiping, all of you. If anyone dares mention a word of this, I will deal with them, Shi Chuan shouted, pointing at the staff members. Hibichi and Shi Fenjia hugged each other, looking scared. Dad, trust me, I won't, Fenjia said, shaking. Me neither, her mom added, both visibly trembling. Dear Wei, you're now the lucky star of our family, Shi Chuan said, smiling. Wei is the goose that laid the golden eggs now. I must get on her good side and make her do good deeds for the Shi family, Shi Chuan thought with a beaming smile. Are you hungry? Dad will cook you some noodles, he said, trying to impress Shi Weiyi, who was in deep thought. Dad, you slapped Aunt Beachy, Shi Weiyi said, framing her hand like a camera. Now the Gore-Tex on her chin, hyaluronic acid implant on her cheeks are both wonky. You'll need to get your face redone after the bruise heals. Tut-tut, what an artificial face, Shi Weiyi teased her perplexed stepmother. I'm talking to you. Shut up and listen, Shi Chuan thought, feeling irritated by Shi Weiyi's playfulness. What is this brat playing at? She's pitying my face? Hibichi thought, looking scared as she held her cheek in pain from Shi Chuan's hit. Why don't I tell you a story, Dad? Aunt Beachy and Fenjia kicked Chen out during your business trip overseas, Shi Weiyi said calmly. Maybe you should give her another smack to balance her face. Shi Weiyi said, revealing their wickedness to her dad while smiling. What? Both mother and daughter shouted, their jaws dropping. Huh. Chen is the only boy in our family and we're relying on him. And you two actually kicked my son out of his own family? Are you trying to find him another dad? Fu Chuan shouted angrily as he looked at Hibichi and Shi Fenjia, cracking his knuckles to deliver them another good beating. Well, they both said at the same time, trying to explain their actions. Shi Weiyi wasn't still satisfied. I need some more drama, she thought with a sinister grin. Dad, after Chen was kicked out, Fenjia also docked his allowance. Chen can't afford eating in the school canteen now. They also forbade Aunt Yu to send food to Chen, Shi Weiyi told her dad, revealing more evil plots by the two ladies. Damn, the little witch really wants us to die, they both thought, looking surprised at Wei's new confession. Shi Chuan slapped them both in anger. Bitches, he shouted. Dad, please spare us, Fenjia begged, tears streaming down her face as she was held by her mother. Shi Chuan kicked them. This is how you taught your daughter, being vicious and abusing her brother. I don't care how you do it, but I must see Chen in 5 minutes, Shi Chuan told them, scolding them. They both wept as they held each other on the floor. So embarrassing, the maids thought, watching Shi Chuan scold his wife and daughter. Ah, now I feel much better, Shi Weiyi thought, now happy with herself. The bride-to-be is going to have her beauty sleep tonight and tomorrow is the big day, she said to herself. Somewhere in the Lin's garden that night, Lin Zhuo was all by himself. Mommy loves daddy more. Mommy loves me more. Mommy loves daddy more. Mommy loves me more, he exclaimed, plucking a rose petal. Yippee, he screamed, looking at the last petal he had cut. Mommy loves daddy more, he said, looking at the petal tensely. Why, he said, crying. Lin Zhuo knelt on the ground, his small frame overwhelmed with confusion and sadness. Why does mommy always love daddy, he whispered, tears welling up in his eyes. Probability theory is lying, he added, his voice tinged with despair. Oh no, I'm so doomed, he murmured, his heart heavy with the weight of his thoughts. Long before dad dies, mommy will fall for him so soon after they get married. Tears streamed down his cheeks as he continued to wrestle with his emotions. Mommy will never like me, he cried out, his voice cracking with sorrow. It's okay that mommy loves daddy for now as he's a grown-up, he reasoned, trying to find some solace in his tumultuous thoughts. I just hope that mommy will hold a small space for me in her heart. With a heavy sigh, Lin Zhuo reached out and plucked a rose, its delicate petals a stark contrast to his turbulent emotions. Despite his inner turmoil, Lin's resilience shone through. But the Lin family never gives up, he whispered to himself, determination flickering in his eyes. I'll allow mommy to love daddy for a short while, Lin Zhuo shouted, his voice brimming with determination. I will become her only love in the future. Meanwhile, at the Shi family residence, Shi Weiyi emerged from the bathroom after her bath. My room will be changed into the bridal room, Shi Weiyi thought to herself, contemplating the temporary arrangement. I'll just make do in Chen's room tonight. As she pondered the upcoming events, Shi Weiyi found herself leaning against the wall, a hint of fatigue evident in her posture. I actually have to get up at 3 in the morning to do my makeup, she mused quietly, her thoughts drifting to the tasks ahead. Can I quit now? Shi Weiyi's thoughts were interrupted by the sudden sound of a ringing phone, startling her. She glanced around, puzzled by the unfamiliar noise. I order you to have a video chat with me, the ringing tone demanded. Shi Weiyi's eyebrows furrowed in confusion as she listened further. My patience is short, so you'd better do it now. Quickly 3-2. The ringtone trailed off as the ringing grew louder with each passing second. With a sigh, Shi Weiyi reached for the phone and saw that the caller was Lin Du. He's really full of himself, she muttered under her breath, noticing that he had given her a new phone as a wedding gift. As Shi Weiyi scrolled through the phone's gallery, she noticed that all the wallpapers were Lin Du's photos. Memories flooded back to when he had given her the phone. With a wry smile she said, Your Highness, could you find some normal photos? I don't want your topless photo showing your abs. Observing Lin Du scrolling through the phone's gallery, she couldn't help but remark, he even set the video call interface and the ringtone. Shi Weiyi considered accepting Lin Du's video call request, her mind still occupied by his quirks. She couldn't help but notice his alias set as My Dear Hubby as she answered the call. So you're video chatting with me in the late evening? Shouldn't you be having your stag party with your friends and partying all night, she said. Seeing her clad in a towel, with her alluring lips and droplets of water trailing her skin, he was dumbfounded as the pipe he was smoking dropped to the floor. Ahem, do you always video chat with men dressed like that? Lin Du asked, upon seeing Shi Weiyi, who was covered with just a towel. Weiyi, shocked at first, looked down to confirm what he was saying. You've seen me taking off my bath towel already. Oh, he hasn't. I almost forgot, she thought, momentarily forgetting their differing perspectives before realizing the distinction between their memories of the past life and his current lack of familiarity with her in this one. Mr. Lin, would you like to take a look then? Shi Weiyi teased, a mischievous glint in her eye. She couldn't help but chuckle to herself, finding amusement in their playful banter. It's fun to play with him, she thought, enjoying the light-hearted exchange. As Lin Du blushed and watched Shi Weiyi through his phone, he silently noted, Shi Weiyi, I'll bear this in mind. His cheeks tinted with a hint of embarrassment. Fine, tomorrow night I will make you pay double what you owe me tonight, Lin Du declared with a grin, his eyes sparkling with mischief. Shi Weiyi's expression shifted to one of shock as she realized the implications of her playful banter. Oh no, I shouldn't play with fire. Now I've got myself burnt, she thought, feeling a pang of regret. As Lin Du got up from his seat, he turned to Shi Weiyi and asked, "Did you get my gift?" Shi Weiyi, still reeling from their exchange, looked confused as she put on her bathrobe. "Gift?" she asked, her confusion evident. It's a bit too late to give me a gift, she thought, her mind still processing the unexpected turn of events. Shi Weiyi heard a soft knock on her door, and as she opened it, she was greeted by Aunt Yu. "Miss Weiyi, Mr. Lin sent a painting for you," she announced gently, holding a covered portrait. With a curious expression, Shi Weiyi accepted the painting and carefully removed the cover. Before her lay a portrait of herself and Lin Du, adorned in their wedding attire. The scene depicted a moment they hadn't had the chance to capture through photographs. "We didn't have the opportunity for wedding photos, so I took the liberty of painting one for my bride. Feel free to give me your opinions," Lin Du explained with a subtle smirk, his eyes reflecting anticipation for her praises. "It's great, but don't bother doing it again," Shi Weiyi said with a blush, her honesty tempered with a hint of humor. Lin Du's taste is so old school, she mused silently. Gesturing toward the portrait, she turned to Lin Du, her expression curious. "Do you hate me? Why do you keep away from me?" she asked, her voice soft yet tinged with vulnerability. Glancing back at the painting, she added with a light chuckle, "And from this angle, I seem to have a spine problem, and I look blind too," referring to her seated posture. "We both look like zombies. Are we dead or something? Mr. Lin, please try to do some human art." Shi Weiyi's words cut through the air, delivered with a straight face that stunned Lin Du. Her challenge to his taste and painting skills left him visibly furious, snapping his pipe into two with an angry gesture. "This is the European Middle Ages superlative-style portraits. Even Raphael can't beat it," Lin Du retorted, his tone defensive as he referenced the renowned artist. "Well, why don't I paint one too?" Shi Weiyi suggested, her eyes sparkling with delight at the prospect of surprising their guests with her own artistic endeavor. On the wedding day, Shi Weiyi radiated elegance in her attire. She wore an exquisite, intricately crafted Holy Mermaid wedding dress adorned with lace and featuring a noble and elegant Baroque design. The dress boasted a silver and white waterfall-like lace tail, accentuating her figure with grace and sophistication. Completing her ensemble were pure and elegant white crystal fishmouth high-heeled shoes, adding a touch of ethereal beauty to her bridal attire. Shi Weiyi looked dazzlingly beautiful as she prepared for her wedding day, her radiance captivating those around her. Someone didn't close her fairy tale books and the princess ran out, a maid complimented, her cheeks flushing with admiration at Shi Weiyi's stunning appearance. "Miss, you are so beautiful that they should put it on Guinness World Records," another maid remarked with genuine awe as she assisted Shi Weiyi with her attire, her words filled with sincere admiration. "Madam, could you teach us how to become a fairy tale princess?" another maid politely asked as she helped mend Shi Weiyi's dress, her request reflecting the admiration and fascination inspired by Shi Weiyi's fairy tale-like beauty. "Wei, I have a gift for you," Wu Lifei, Lin Du's mother, said warmly, gesturing for a maid to approach with a box in hand. "Lin Du's grandmother gave it to me when I married into the Lin family. Now I pass it to you," she explained, unveiling a beautiful necklace from within the box. Taking the necklace, Shi Weiyi admired its elegance before Wu Lifei gently placed it around her neck. "Look, it looks good on you," Wu Lifei remarked with a smile, her eyes reflecting genuine pleasure at seeing Shi Weiyi adorned with the family heirloom. About to refrain from her hand, Shi Weiyi instead reached out and gently held Wu Lifei's hand. "Mother, thank you," she expressed calmly, her tone sincere and respectful. "I will respect and take care of you. I will also take good care of Lin Du and Lin Zhua. I will try to keep up with your pace and honor the Lin family," she promised, her words carrying a solemn vow. "Good girl," Wu Lifei responded with a gentle smile, her expression reflecting approval and appreciation for Shi Weiyi's commitment to her family and their legacy. She's indeed a great-looking girl. She's quite a match with my son, Wu Lifei thought to herself, acknowledging Shi Weiyi's beauty and compatibility with Lin Du. Reflecting on Shi Weiyi's interactions with Lin Zhuo, she noted it took her only one night to get Lin Zhuo to like her. He has a more strange temper than his dad. Considering Shi Weiyi's character and her ability to handle even the more challenging personalities within the family, Wu Lifei concluded, I think she's capable of being the new lady of the Lin family, recognizing Shi Weiyi's potential to assume a significant role within the family with respect to both relationships and responsibilities. Well, I heard that you have another sister called Shi Fenchuan. Why did you choose Go Fei to be your bridesmaid instead of her? Wu Lifei asked Shi Weiyi, their hands still clasped as they settled onto a chair. Both of her sisters have weird names. Shi Fenjia means extremely fake and Shi Fenchuan means extremely stupid, Wu Lifei thought, perplexed by the unusual meanings behind the names borne by Shi Weiyi's siblings. Shi Weiyi considered her mother-in-law's question thoughtfully. Go Fei has been a close friend for years, and I want her to share in my happiness, Shi Weiyi stated with a genuine smile, emphasizing her desire to have her closest companion by her side on her special day. As she expressed her sentiments to Wu Lifei, Shi Weiyi couldn't help but ponder her own intentions regarding Go Fei. My bestie in my previous life has also schemed against me with my two evil sisters, and she tried to seduce Lin Du, she thought, her expression taking on a subtle hint of determination. This time I will give her the best time she can ever have, she decided with a devilish look, her plan firmly set in motion. Thank you for joining us on this incredible adventure. If you enjoyed what you watched, please consider liking, subscribing, and ringing that notification bell. Your comments mean the world to us and help us improve. The next episode promises even more excitement and unexpected twists, so stay tuned as we embark on this thrilling journey together. Keep the anticipation alive and we'll catch you in the next episode.